I didn't say a word, just sent one text. Her boss asked, "Nothing to say?" I replied, "Your phone will ring at 4:00 p.m. You'll understand then." At 4:00 p.m. on the dot, it rang. I watched him listen, go pale, and stare at me with pure terror. His name is Gavin Pike, and he's been sleeping with my wife for 6 weeks. He doesn't know I know. Well, he didn't until about 30 seconds ago when that call came through. Now he's standing in the lobby of North Pier Partnerships, his silver phone pressed to his ear, and every ounce of smugness has drained from his face like water through a cracked glass. I'm sitting in the cafe across the street. Big windows, clear sight line. I can see everything. Gavin's mouth opens, closes, opens again. He's trying to form words, but nothing comes out. The woman on the other end keeps talking. I know what she's saying because I wrote the script. Well, not literally, but I gave her the facts, the timeline, the names. Mara Kim doesn't need much help when it comes to asking uncomfortable questions on live radio. Gavin's hand trembles. He pulls the phone away, stares at the screen like it just bit him, then lifts it back to his ear. His other hand goes to his forehead, pressing hard. He's sweating. I can see the dampness spreading at his temples even from here. Lila, my wife, is standing next to him. She doesn't know what's happening yet. She's looking at him with concern, reaching for his arm. He shakes her off. Not gently. I take a sip of coffee. It's cold. I don't care. This is what control feels like. Not rage, not chaos. Control. The kind that comes from knowing exactly when something will happen and making sure it happens at the exact moment you choose. 4 o'clock. Not 3:59, not 4:01. Gavin lowers the phone. His eyes scan the street, frantic, searching. He's looking for me. He won't find me. Not yet. I'm just a guy in a cafe with a laptop and a cold cup of coffee. Nobody important. Nobody dangerous. Except I am. Lila's talking now. Urgent. Her hands moving. Gavin shakes his head, says something short. She steps back like he slapped her. Good. Let her feel a fraction of what I felt. I close my laptop. Stand. Leave a 5 on the table. As I push through the cafe door, the wind off Lake Erie hits me, cold and clean. It's late September, and the city smells like rain and rust. Riverton, Ohio, just hanging on, like everything else around here. I glance back at the North Pier building one more time. Gavin's still on the phone, still pale. Lila's staring at him with something close to fear. This didn't start today. This began last Tuesday, in a rain-glossed parking lot, when I realized my wife was lying to me. While you're here, hit the hype button. Don't forget to subscribe and support this channel with a like. And tell us below, have you ever faced something like this? Tuesday, September 24th, 6:20 p.m. I'm sitting in my truck outside the museum, finishing paperwork for an AV install when Lila texts me. Working late. Don't wait up. It's the third time this week. Not suspicious on its own. Lila's a senior PR manager. She works late sometimes. But it's the way she's been saying it lately. Clipped. No emoji, no sorry, no, I'll make it up to you. Just the information, stripped bare. I text back, no problem, love you. She doesn't reply. I sit there for a minute, engine idling, wipers pushing rain across the windshield in slow arcs. Then I pull out of the lot and head toward her office. Not because I'm paranoid, because I pay attention. North Pier Partnerships is in a converted warehouse near the waterfront. Exposed brick, big glass windows, the kind of place that screams we're creative and important. I park a block away, far enough that my truck won't stand out, and I wait. 20 minutes later, Lila walks out. She's not alone. Gavin Pike is beside her, holding an umbrella over both of them, even though the rain's barely more than mist. His hand is on her lower back. Not her shoulder, not her arm, her lower back. The kind of touch that says ownership. They walk to the parking garage. I follow on foot, staying across the street, hood up. I watch them stop beside a silver vintage coupe. Gavin's car. I've seen it before, parked in the VIP spots at events, polished to a mirror shine. He unlocks it, and Lila gets in. Passenger side. They sit there for a long time, talking. I can't hear what they're saying, but I can see Lila laughing, leaning toward him. Then he reaches over, touches her face, and kisses her. Not a peck. Not a friendly goodbye. A kiss that lasts long enough that I count to 7 in my head before I turn away. I walk back to my truck. Start it. Drive home. I don't cry. I don't punch the steering wheel. I don't call her and scream. I just drive. Hands steady, jaw tight, while something cold and sharp settles in my chest like a piece of broken glass. When I get home, I open my laptop and start a list. Evidence, timeline, witnesses, methods. I'm good at systems. It's what I do for a living. I wire sound systems, manage acoustics, run cables through walls and ceilings so that everything works perfectly when the curtain goes up. I understand timing, I understand cause and effect. And now I'm going to use it. Over the next 3 days, I gather proof. Not for a lawyer, not for closure. For me? Wednesday morning, I check the dashcam footage from my truck. I keep it running on a loop, mostly for insurance purposes, but it catches something useful. Lila's car leaving the North Pier garage at 7:15 a.m. That's early. Too early for a normal workday. I dig into the previous week's footage. There it is again. Same time, same exit. 2 mornings in a row. Thursday afternoon, I stop by Gavin's condo building to drop off a phone charger Lila says she forgot at the office. It's a lie, I know, but I play along. The concierge, Valeria Ortiz, is at the desk. Sharp-eyed, mid-20s, with a kind of smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. "Mr. Hale," she says, taking the charger. "I'll make sure she gets it." "Thanks." "Hey, quick question. The elevator's been glitchy lately, right? I heard someone got stuck last week." Valeria nods. "Yeah, a couple times. Maintenance is supposed to fix it. We've had a lot of familiar faces coming through at odd hours, so it's been getting extra use." "Familiar faces?" She shrugs. "You know, regulars. Ms. Hale's been by a few times recently, usually early mornings." "Right, makes sense." It doesn't, but I smile, thank her, and leave. Friday night, Lila comes home at 10:30. She's wearing a new perfume. Something expensive, floral, not the citrus stuff she usually wears. I don't mention it. We eat leftover Thai food in silence. She checks her phone every few minutes. I watch her reflection in the kitchen window. "Everything okay at work?" I ask. "Fine, just busy." "Gavin keeping you late again?" She glances up sharp. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing. Just making conversation." She goes back to her phone. "He's got a big pitch next week. Lots of prep." "Sounds stressful." "It is." I stand, rinse my plate, set it in the dishwasher. As I walk past her, I glance at her screen. She's texting someone. I catch part of it before she tilts the phone away. "I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Let's do that thing you mentioned." She locks the screen, smiles at me. "I'm going to shower." "Okay." After she goes upstairs, I check the doorbell camera footage. We have one of those Ring setups, records everyone who comes and goes. I scroll back through the week. Tuesday, 11:40 p.m., Lila arrives home. Wednesday, same time. Thursday, 12:10 a.m. I cross-reference with her working late texts. Every single one matches a night she came home after midnight. I pull out my pocket notebook, the kind with graph paper, and I start mapping it out. Dates, times, locations, patterns. Then I find something else. My tool bag has an AirTag in it. I use it to keep track of my gear when I'm moving between museum sites. But when I check the location history, I see something odd. The tag's been pinging from places I haven't been. Coffee shops near Gavin's condo, a boutique hotel downtown, a park I've never visited. She's been tracking me. Lila's been checking to see where I am, making sure I'm not close before she meets him. I sit there at the kitchen table, staring at the glowing dot on my phone screen, and something shifts inside me. The hurt is still there, but it's buried now, under something colder, something precise. When Lila comes downstairs, hair damp, wearing one of my old t-shirts, I'm sitting in the living room with the lights off. "Evan, why are you sitting in the dark?" I don't answer right away. Instead, I reach over and wind up the metronome I keep on the side table. It's an old mechanical one, brass, with a pendulum that ticks back and forth. Tick, tick, tick. Lila freezes. "What's that for?" I look at her. "Just thought we could use a reminder." "A reminder of what?" "That we're on the clock." She stares at me, confused, maybe a little unnerved. Then she shakes her head and goes to bed. I stay downstairs, listening to the metronome tick in the dark, counting the seconds until 4 o'clock comes around again. Saturday morning, I test the lav mics. I clip one to the inside of my jacket, run the wire down to the recorder in my pocket, and take a walk around the neighborhood. It's cold, overcast, the kind of gray morning that makes everything look washed out. I talk to myself as I walk, low and casual, testing levels. This is Evan Hale, testing audio capture in open air, wind interference minimal, background noise moderate. I play it back. Clear, clean, good. Ohio is a one-party consent state. That means if I'm part of a conversation, I can record it without telling anyone. I'm not planning to wiretap phones or hack email accounts. I don't need to. People talk, they talk a lot, especially when they think nobody's listening. Sunday afternoon, I take a tour of North Pier Partnerships. They're hosting an open house for a local charity event, showing off their fancy office space to potential donors. I sign in with a fake name, grab a name tag, and wander. The place is all glass and steel. Conference rooms with walls you can see through, open-plan desks, a central atrium with a spiral staircase. The acoustics are terrible. Hard surfaces everywhere. Voices bounce and echo. If you stand in the right spot near the HVAC vents, you can hear conversations from 3 rooms away. I take mental notes. Room layouts, sight lines, where the security cameras point, where they don't. Gavin's office is on the 3rd floor, corner unit, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the lake. The glass conference room is right next door, separated by a frosted partition that doesn't do much to block sound. I linger near the atrium, pretending to admire a piece of modern art that looks like someone dropped a bucket of paint and called it inspiration. A woman in a North Pier blazer approaches. "Can I help you find anything?" "Just browsing. Impressive space." "Thank you. We're proud of it." "Do you ever have issues with noise? The echo in here is pretty intense." She laughs. "You'd be surprised. It's actually worse in the mornings when the HVAC kicks in. By afternoon, it settles down." "Good to know." I thank her and leave. Monday evening, I meet Mara Kim at the radio station. She's sharp, ambitious, and always looking for content that'll boost her ratings. We've crossed paths before. I helped the station install some new soundproofing last year, and she owes me a favor. "Evan Hale," she says, grinning when I walk into the booth. "What brings you to my corner of the wasteland?" "I need a call-in window." "For what?" "Charity spotlight. Museum fundraiser stuff. Maybe a guest or two." She leans back in her chair, studying me. "You're not a fundraiser guy. What's this really about?" "Does it matter?" "It does if you want me to give you airtime." I pull out my phone, show her a few screenshots. Public posts from Gavin Pike's social media, photos from North Pier events, comped guest lists with serial numbers that don't match the official rosters. Nothing illegal, just sloppy and embarrassing if anyone digs into it. Mara's eyes light up. "Oh, this is good. This is very good. Can you work with it?" "Absolutely. When?" "I'll let you know. Probably next week." "And you'll feed me the details?" "Every single one." She grins. "I knew I liked you." Tuesday night, I meet Deshaun Brooks at the pier. Deshaun's been my friend since high school. He works security for the amusement park at North Pier, the kind of place that's seen better days but still pulls in crowds during the summer. Now that it's fall, they're gearing up for a charity gala, some black tie fundraiser with carousel rides and overpriced champagne. "You want to help set up?" Deshaun asks, skeptical. "Since when do you care about galas?" "Since I realized I'm good at wiring things, and you need someone who won't half-ass the lighting rig." He laughs. "Fair. Yeah, we could use the help. Friday night work for you." "Perfect." We walk the grounds, mapping out where the stages and tents will go. The carousel is the centerpiece, all painted horses and chipped gold leaf, surrounded by strings of old Edison bulbs. The fog machines are stacked near the entrance, ready to create atmosphere. There's a green jacket hanging on a hook by the security office, some old mascot costume from the park's heyday. "You still have access to the camera feeds?" I ask. "Yeah." "Why?" "Just curious. I like knowing where things are." Deshaun gives me a look, but doesn't push. "You're being weird, man." "I'm always weird." "True." Friday afternoon, I see the car. Gavin's silver vintage coupe is parked under the awning outside his condo, freshly washed, gleaming in the weak sunlight. He's out there polishing the chrome, wearing aviator sunglasses and a smug expression. I walk past, hands in my pockets, and pause to admire it. "Nice ride," I say. He glances up, doesn't recognize me at first. Then his eyes narrow. "Thanks." "You take good care of it." "It's a classic. You have to." I nod, run my fingers along the edge of the hood. There's a microscuff near the headlight, barely visible. I press just hard enough to feel the paint give slightly under my thumb. "Something wrong?" Gavin asks, tone sharpening. "No, just appreciating the detail." I step back, smile, and walk away. Behind me, I hear him mutter something under his breath, but I don't turn around. Later that night, I sit in my truck outside the condo building and watch the valet podium. Gavin comes out around 8 p.m., heading to some event downtown. He hands his keys to the valet, a young guy in a red vest who's more interested in his phone than his job. I wait until Gavin's inside, then approach the podium. "Hey, quick question. I'm supposed to pick up a car for a friend. Silver coupe? Vintage? Is there a fob? Or just a key?" The valet barely looks up. "Fob's in the drawer. Which car?" "The coupe. Pike's car." "Oh, That one. Yeah, hold on. He rummages through the drawer, pulls out a fob, hands it to me. Thanks. Actually, wait, this might be the wrong one. Can you check the VIN? While he's distracted, I palm the fob, pull out a duplicate from my pocket, and swap them. The duplicate is a blank I bought online, same make and model. It won't start the car, but it looks identical. Yeah, that's the right one, the valet says, not noticing the switch. I hand him back the fake. My mistake. Thanks anyway. He shrugs, drops it in the drawer, goes back to his phone. I walk away with the real fob in my pocket, feeling the weight of it like a promise. We'll make memories, Gavin. Just you wait. The rooftop mixer is Thursday night, some networking event for local businesses and PR firms. Lila mentioned it in passing, said she had to go, that Gavin would be there. She didn't invite me. Didn't think I'd be interested. She's right, I'm not interested in networking, but I'm very interested in what happens when sound systems malfunction at exactly the wrong moment. The venue is a converted loft space downtown, all exposed beams and string lights with a bar on one end and a makeshift stage on the other. I arrive early, before the crowd, wearing a borrowed catering uniform I got from a friend who works events. Black shirt, black pants, name tag that says Mike. Nobody looks twice. I find the AV setup near the stage. It's basic. A mixer, 2 speakers, a laptop running a playlist. The guy in charge is in his 20s, more focused on his phone than the equipment. Need any help? I ask. He glances up. Nah, I got it. Cool. Just checking. I used to run sound for these things. Yeah, that's sick. You want to take a look? I'm not totally sure about the aux input. Sure. He steps aside, and I kneel down, pretending to inspect the cables. What I'm actually doing is plugging a secondary aux cord into the mixer, hidden behind the main setup, running it to a small recorder in my jacket pocket. The recorder has a single file loaded on it, a voicemail. The voicemail is real. I didn't fake it. I just lifted it from Gavin's publicly accessible office line using a simple spoofed callback. It's him, talking to someone about borrowing intern time for personal errands, asking them to keep it quiet. Nothing illegal, just embarrassing. Looks good, I tell the kid. You're all set. Thanks, man. I slip away before he can ask questions. By 7 p.m., the place is packed. Gavin's holding court near the bar, drink in hand, laughing too loud. Lila's beside him, polished and perfect in a gray blazer and heels. She's smiling, but it doesn't reach her eyes. She keeps glancing at her phone. I stay near the back, blending in with the catering staff, watching. At 7:30, Gavin takes the stage to give a toast, something about community partnerships and innovation, the usual corporate buzzwords. People clap politely. Halfway through his speech, I press play on the recorder. The sound is faint at first, barely audible under his voice. But the mixer picks it up, amplifies it, and suddenly the room can hear it. Gavin's voice, tinny and distorted, bleeding through the speakers. Just borrow a few hours here and there. No big deal. Don't put it on the timesheet. Gavin stops mid-sentence. His smile freezes. The voicemail keeps playing. I'll make it worth your while. Keep it between us. Someone in the crowd laughs nervously. Then another. Gavin's face goes red. Technical difficulties, he says, trying to laugh it off. Sorry about that. But the damage is done. People are whispering, pulling out phones. Kara Wynn, Lila's influencer friend, is filming from the front row, her face lit up with glee. I slip out the side door before anyone notices me. 10 minutes later, I'm back in street clothes, walking toward the valet area. Gavin's coming down the stairs, tie loosened, face still flushed. Lila's trailing behind him, heels clicking on the pavement. That was humiliating, she hisses. It was a glitch. It happens. It was your voice, Gavin. I know it was my voice. I step out from behind a parked car, blocking their path. Gavin stops short. Who the hell are you? I don't answer. I just walk forward, slowly, until I'm standing right in front of him. Then I raise my hand, open palm, and slap him across the chest. Not hard. Just enough to leave a print on his suit jacket. Excuse me, I say, voice flat. He stumbles back, more from shock than force. Careful, I say. Wouldn't want to make a scene. Security cameras are everywhere. I made sure of that. They'll see a bump, a clumsy drunk maybe. Nothing more. Gavin's breathing hard now, fists clenched. Lila grabs his arm. Let's just go, she says. But Gavin's staring at me, recognition dawning. Wait, I know you. You're... Nobody, I finish. Just a guy who happened to be in the way. I turn and walk off, hands in my pockets, heart pounding. Behind me, I hear Gavin's voice, low and furious. You want a war? I stop, turn back, smile. I already scheduled it. Kara Wynn posts the video at 11:47 p.m. I'm home when it goes live, sitting on the couch with my laptop open, tracking the social media feeds. Lila's asleep upstairs, or pretending to be. I can hear her shifting around, restless. The video is short, 30 seconds of Gavin mid-toast, then the voicemail bleeding through the speakers. The comments start rolling in immediately. Yikes. Is this real? This is why I don't trust PR people. Kara captions it. When the mic betrays you. Awkward Namalur networking fail. By midnight, it has 2,000 views. By morning, 10,000. I don't need it to go viral. I just need the right people to see it. And they do. Friday afternoon, I get coffee at a shop near North Pier and accidentally run into Kara. Evan, right? She says, looking up from her phone. Lila's husband? That's me. Small world. I was just at your wife's office yesterday. Yeah? How's she doing? Kara leans in, conspiratorial. Honestly, she's stressed. Gavin's been a mess since that thing at the mixer. What thing? Oh, you didn't hear? Someone leaked this embarrassing voicemail during his speech. It's all over social media. No kidding. Yeah, and get this. She lowers her voice. I heard from someone at the condo where Gavin lives that he's been racking up fines. Parking violations, noise complaints, the whole deal. Apparently the condo board is pissed. I already knew that. Valeria mentioned it when I stopped by earlier in the week. But I act surprised. That's rough. Right? And now there's talk that he's been comping friends at events without logging it properly. Nothing illegal, but super sketchy. If the board finds out, he's done. Sounds like karma, Kara grins. Totally. Anyway, I'm writing a piece about workplace ethics in PR. Mind if I use some of this as background? Go for it. She thanks me and leaves, already typing on her phone. I finish my coffee and head to the museum. That evening, Valeria calls me. Mr. Hale, it's Valeria from the condo. Hey, what's up? I just wanted to let you know. The board's doing an audit of curb violations and guest logs. Your wife's name came up a few times. Thought you should know. Appreciate it. No problem. And, between us? Mr. Pike's been getting a lot of visits lately. Early mornings, late nights. The elevator's been acting up because of the extra traffic. Good to know. I hang up and add it to my notes. Saturday morning, Lila comes downstairs in yoga pants and a hoodie, hair pulled back. I'm going to yoga, she says. Which studio? The one on 5th. The one that's closed for renovations? She freezes. What? I drove past it yesterday. Big sign on the door, closed until November. Her face flushes. I meant the other one, on 8th. Right. She grabs her keys and leaves. I wait 5 minutes, then check her location on the Find My app we share. She's not going to a yoga studio. She's heading toward Gavin's condo. I mark the time in my notebook, 9:42 a.m. By Sunday night, Kara's post has been picked up by a local blog that covers business drama. The headline reads, PR firm exec faces questions over event comping practices. It's not a hit piece, just enough innuendo to make people look twice. Gavin's reputation, already dinged by the voicemail incident, takes another hit. And then, Monday morning, I get a text from Lila. Competitor agency wants to meet with me. Might be an opportunity. I text back, That's great. When? Tomorrow, lunch. Good luck. She doesn't respond. I set a reminder for tomorrow, 12 EKRP, and start planning my next move. Tuesday, 11:50 a.m. I'm sitting in a cafe directly across from the North Pier building, third table from the window, with a clear view of the glass conference room on the second floor. Lila and Gavin are in that conference room. I can see them through the glass. They're meeting with two people I don't recognize, probably from the competitor agency Lila mentioned. Everyone's smiling, shaking hands, pretending this is just business. It's not. I've spent the last 3 days studying lip-reading tutorials online. I'm not great at it, but I don't need to be. I just need to catch key words. The HVAC system is loud this time of day, like the woman at the open house said, so the room's acoustics are terrible. But that works in my favor. If I can't hear them, they can't hear me either. At 11:58, I pull out my phone and text Lila. The message is simple. A photo of our bed, empty on my side, with the metronome sitting on the nightstand. Caption? Tick. I watch her phone light up on the conference table. She glances at it, frowns, then flips it over without reading the message. But I see her shoulders tense. At 12:03, Gavin's phone buzzes. He ignores it at first, then picks it up when it buzzes again. His expression shifts from annoyed to confused to something close to panic. I didn't text him. Mara did. A courtesy heads up about tomorrow's radio segment, phrased innocently enough but loaded with just enough detail to make him sweat. Gavin excuses himself, stands, and walks out of the room. I watch him through the windows as he paces the hallway, phone pressed to his ear. Lila's left alone with the two strangers. They keep talking, but her focus is gone. She keeps glancing toward the door, checking her phone. I finish my coffee, close the laptop, and leave. 5 minutes later, I'm standing beside Gavin's silver coupe in the parking garage. It's parked in his reserved spot, gleaming under the fluorescent lights. I pull out the fob I lifted last week, press the unlock button, and the doors click open. I don't touch anything inside. I just stand there, holding the fob, considering my options. Then I hear footsteps. Gavin's coming down the ramp, phone still in hand, face flushed. He sees me and stops. "What the hell are you doing?" I hold up the fob. "Returning something you lost." His eyes narrow. "Where did you get that? Does it matter?" He takes a step forward. I don't move. "You've been following me," he says. "No, I've been following my wife." That stops him. His jaw tightens. "Look," he says, voice low. "I don't know what you think you know, but I know everything." He laughs, but it's forced. "You don't know anything." I pull out my phone, swipe through the photos, doorbell cam screenshots, dash cam timestamps, Valeria's texts. I hold it up so he can see. "Want to keep pretending?" His face goes pale. "You can't prove—" "I don't need to prove anything. I just need to show the right people at the right time." I set the fob on the hood of his car, turn, and walk away. Behind me, I hear him shouting, but I don't stop. When I get back to my truck, there's a voicemail from Officer Nina Vale. She's a beat cop I've seen around the museum a few times, usually when there's some noise complaint from the loading docks. "Yeah, it's Mr. Hale. This is Officer Vale. We got a call about a disturbance at North Pier. Someone said you were involved. Give me a call when you get a chance." I call her back. "Officer Vale? It's Evan Hale. You called?" "Yeah. Want to tell me what happened?" "Nothing happened. I returned something to someone. We talked. That's it." "That's not what he's saying." "What's he saying?" "That you threatened him." "I didn't threaten anyone. I just told him the truth." There's a pause. Then, "Mr. Hale, I don't know what's going on between you and this guy, but you need to be careful. If he files a complaint, I can't ignore it." "Understood." "Good. Stay out of trouble." "I'll do my best." She hangs up. I sit there for a minute, staring at the phone, then text her one more thing. "See you at the pier." She doesn't reply. Thursday night, 6:45 p.m. The North Pier amusement park is closed to the public, but the gala prep is in full swing. Workers are stringing lights, setting up tables, testing the fog machines. Deshawn's coordinating everything from the security office, clipboard in hand, barking orders at a crew of volunteers who clearly don't want to be here. I'm helping with the emergency lighting rig, which is just a fancy way of saying I'm climbing ladders and running cables through old rigging that probably hasn't been inspected since the 90s. "You sure this is safe?" I ask, tugging on a support beam. "Safe enough," Deshawn says. "It's only got to last through Saturday." "Reassuring." He grins. "You wanted to help?" "I did." We work in silence for a while, and then I ask, "You still have access to the camera feeds?" "Yeah. Why?" "Just curious where they're pointed." He gives me a look. "You planning something?" "No." That's not convincing. I'm just making sure I know the layout. Deshawn sighs, pulls out his phone, and shows me the security app. There are 12 cameras total, covering the entrance, the carousel, the pier walkway, and the parking lot. The blind spots are pretty obvious: the storage sheds, the back offices, and the northwest corner near the old ticket booth. "Thanks," I say. "Don't make me regret this." "I won't." At 7:30, we test the fog machines. They're old, the kind that spew thick white clouds that smell faintly of chemicals and childhood nostalgia. We set them up near the carousel, run them for 30 seconds, and watch the fog roll across the platform like something out of a horror movie. "That's good," Deshawn says. "Cut it." "Mara's doing a live segment on Saturday, right?" I ask. "Yeah, some charity spotlight thing. She's setting up near the entrance at 3:30. "Good to know." Deshawn narrows his eyes. "What are you planning, Evan?" "Nothing." "Bullshit." I don't answer. Later, I find the green mascot jacket hanging in the security office. It's an old thing, faded and worn, with a Cartoon Pier logo on the back. I try it on. It fits. "You keeping that?" Deshawn asks. "Maybe." "Why?" "Might be useful." He shakes his head, but doesn't push. At 8:15, I step outside to get some air. The wind off the lake is sharp, carrying the smell of rain and rust. I walk down to the pier, leaning against the railing, staring out at the dark water. That's when I see it. Gavin's silver coupe pulling into the parking lot. He gets out, wearing a suit despite the cold, and walks toward the carousel. I slip back into the shadows, watching. He's talking to someone on the phone, pacing, gesturing. I can't hear what he's saying, but I can see the frustration in his movements. Then he notices the carousel, the lights, the setup. He smiles, nodding to himself, like he's imagining how it'll look on Saturday. That's when I realize he's planning to use the gala as a photo op, a PR recovery move. Good. Let him. I pull out my phone and text Mara. Gavin Pike will be at the pier Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Schedule the call in. She replies immediately. Done. I head back inside, slipping the green mascot jacket into my bag. Friday afternoon, I meet with Mara at the radio station to finalize the details. You sure this'll work? She asks. Positive. And you're giving me the full story? Every detail. She leans back in her chair, studying me. Why are you doing this? Does it matter? It does to me. I meet her eyes. Because he took something from me, and I'm taking it back. She nods, satisfied. Fair enough. We go over the timing. Mara will go live at 4:00 p.m. sharp, calling Gavin on air with a softball question about the charity gala. But the questions won't stay soft. She'll mention the comped guest lists, the parking violations, the intern time borrowing, all framed as innocent curiosity. By the time she's done, Gavin's reputation will be in tatters. And the donor pull out, I ask? Already lined up. He'll call in at 4:01, right after I finish with Pike. Perfect. As I'm leaving, Mara calls after me. Evan? Yeah? Whatever you're planning, make it good. I smile. I will. That night, I sit in my truck outside Gavin's condo, watching the valet station. Around 9 p.m., Gavin pulls up, tosses his keys to the valet, and heads inside. I wait until the valet's distracted, then approach. Hey, quick question. That coupe, you have a spare fob? Why? Owner asked me to check something. I'll be 2 minutes. The valet shrugs, hands me the fob. I don't give it back.